Margot Robbie has had quite the ride so far. She was one of the world's highest paid actresses by her late 20s, and if Barbie, which is quickly approaching the $1 billion mark, is anything to go by, those numbers are only likely to increase. She got her start in acting when she was just in high school, starring in low-budget indie movies. Her breakthrough role came on Neighbours, an Australian soap opera with more than 8,900 episodes. Despite initially being hired for a guest role, she quickly became a series regular for 3 seasons before she decamped Australia for America. As soon as she got here in 2011, she landed a role in Pan Am. The show was named after the iconic Pan American airline, and Robbie played a stewardess. The series had good reviews but was cancelled due to low ratings. In 2013, she started acting in feature films. Her first was a minor role in About Time, but she quickly followed that up with her breakthrough role in Martin Scorsese's The Wolf of Wall Street.
That's right, Guinea Gulch. And call the Verrazano Bridge the Guinea Gangplank.
Right. So I presume you're Italian?
On my dad's side, I'm also Dutch, German, English. I'm a mutt.
Just 23 at the time, she played Naomi LaPaglia, wife of Leonardo DiCaprio's Jordan Belfort.
Hey, sweetheart. Does Daddy get a kiss from both of his little girls, huh?
Oh, no. No, Daddy doesn't even get to touch Mommy for a very, very, very long time.
According to Scorsese, what really won him over was her slapping DiCaprio during the audition. He said, quote, "She clinched her part in The Wolf of Wall Street during our first meeting by hauling off and giving Leonardo DiCaprio a thunderclap of a slap on the face," end quote. The film was a critical and commercial success, and she received positive reviews for her performance. You'll notice that this is a common facet of Robbie's films. Whether or not her films do well commercially or critically, she, personally, often gets singled out for putting on a bravura performance. Her next big role was in 2015's Focus, where she acted alongside Will Smith. Despite low reviews, the film was a success at the box office. In 2016's Whiskey Tango Foxtrot saw her co-star alongside Tina Fey, while The Legend of Tarzan saw her play Jane Clayton. WTF did alright critically but poorly commercially, while Tarzan did alright commercially but poorly critically. But the end of 2016 saw her in one of her most important and well-known roles up until that point, Harley Quinn in David Ayer's Suicide Squad. While it was lambasted critically, the movie made $747 million on a budget of $175 million, more than justifying several subsequent sequels. Despite the movie being ill-received by critics, Robbie was singled out for giving a terrific performance as Harley Quinn, and critics hoped to see her take a larger role in the later films. If nothing else, the movie helped push her into the A-list. She followed it with I, Tonya, where she played disgraced Olympic figure skater Tonya Harding, who was connected to an assault on her rival Nancy Kerrigan prior to the 1994 US Figure Skating Championship and the Winter Olympics. The film did well critically and commercially, and it earned Robbie a Best Actress nomination at the Academy Awards. In 2018, she provided voice work for Peter Rabbit, a commercial success. Terminal and Slaughterhouse Rules, also released in the same year, both performed poorly. Her final movie of 2018 was Mary, Queen of Scots, where she played Queen Elizabeth I. The film is about the conflict between her and Mary, Queen of Scots, portrayed by Saoirse Ronan. While the film was a moderate success, both Ronan and Robbie were singled out for brilliant performances.
You said the day would come, and that day has come. If you would lay eyes upon me now, you would not recognize me. I have relinquished all sense of self to the throne which rules my every word and action.
It's rarely easy to be able to step into the role of a dominant historical figure, mentally and physically. Robbie had to sit for 3 hours a day just to get the makeup done. For the role, she earned a BAFTA and SAG Award nomination. She released 3 films in 2019. The first, Dreamland, was a moderate critical success but grossed just $320,000 at the box office. The second was Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was a critical and commercial success. In it, Robbie played Sharon Tate and won acclaim for the performance. Her third was Bombshell, a moderate critical and commercial success, which earned her a Best Supporting Actress nomination at the Academy Awards.
On Fox. My family, every day, every holiday, like especially holidays, we watch Fox News. We're like addicts. Fox is how we do church. You know when they made the corner logo turn? Because folks had Fox burned into their TV screens? That's us.
In 2020, she reprised her role as Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey, whose unfortunate release date just a month before the COVID-19 lockdowns ensured that it would not perform well at the box office. Despite that, the film did enjoy critical success. Also in 2020, she served as producer for Promising Young Woman, which starred Carey Mulligan. It was a modest commercial hit and did very well critically, earning a Best Picture nomination at the Academy Awards as well as a Best Original Screenplay win. 2021 saw the release of The Suicide Squad, which suffered at the box office but won critical acclaim. She, thrice, earned praise for her performance as Harley Quinn. She was in 2 movies in 2022. The first was Amsterdam, which is based on the 1933 business plot, which was a conspiracy to overthrow Franklin D. Roosevelt and replace him with Smedley Butler. Her second film of the year was Babylon, directed by Damien Chazelle. In it, she played Nellie Leroy, who was inspired by silent movie star Clara Bow. The film was polarizing among critics and failed to recoup its $80 million budget, but as with so many of her films, she was singled out for praise. 2023, however, is the year where Robbie really made her impact. She was part of the ensemble cast for Wes Anderson's Asteroid City, which, like all Anderson films, was fairly well received. But July saw the release of Barbie, an explosive hit that clocked more than $775 million at the box office in less than 2 weeks, an unheard of feat for a mostly original film. She had bought the rights to do the movie from Mattel in 2018 and had hired Greta Gerwig to come on as director. Robbie ended up being the perfect fit, and it's become her most critically successful movie to date, and considering her role as producer, probably the most financially rewarding as well. Her next movie will see her tack on to an existing franchise. She'll be reuniting with Barbie co-star Ryan Gosling to star in an as-yet untitled Ocean's 11 prequel set in 1960s Europe. It's unlikely that Robbie is anywhere close to her peak. She has a long career ahead of her, and I'm excited to see where she goes from here.